What's up, guys? Hockey TikToky is back, and I am doing an all-new video podcast. So today, I'm just going to be talking about the beginning of the season. NHL action is resuming today. There's going to be the first official game of the season happening today. I think it's between Buffalo and New Jersey. And it's going to be happening overseas in Europe. So this game is going to be like a actual regular season counting game. It's going to go on the stat board and actually count. But there still are a few more preseason games for some of the other teams until I think like the next couple days, like maybe until the weekend. But either way, it's exciting, guys. I think a lot of us hockey junkies, hockey fans have been really waiting for the NHL to restart and actually get the regular season going. One of the main concerns this year with the preseason was a lot of players ended up getting injured, it looked like, in multiple different teams, multiple different games. There were some notable guys that ended up sustaining injuries. I heard Patrik Laine from Montreal. He just signed a deal with Montreal, or I don't know if he signed or traded there. I can't remember, but either way, he just joined Montreal. Patrik Laine did, and hasn't even officially played a regular season game for them yet. And he's going to be out for a couple months, something like that. A star defenseman from Los Angeles, the Kings, Drew Doughty, is injured, and a couple other guys here and there throughout the league have been sustaining injuries in the preseason. So a lot of people I've heard online have been complaining that maybe the preseason is too long, or there's too many games, or there's too much action, for some of these guys. But in my opinion, I think that the preseason is a necessary part of the NHL because it allows for a lot of players to get back into the swing of being able to skate every single day and play hockey every single day. And it gives the fans a chance to kind of get reintroduced back into the season. Maybe it makes it a little bit more attainable, affordable for some people who want to go to watch an NHL game, but maybe they don't have the means to do it during the regular season. So that's nice for the fans. It's nice for the players to kind of get back to the swing of things. And it's nice for the young players, like rookies that are trying to make the NHL, to give a chance to kind of impress the coaches and the management so that they can actually get a chance to play in the NHL once the regular season starts. So in my humble opinion, I think that the preseason is a necessary part of the NHL schedule, and there's no reason to get rid of it, because if guys are getting injured in the preseason, I know that sucks, and it really is unfortunate that it happens, but if guys are getting injured in the preseason, they're going to get injured in the regular season as well. If we dialed back the preseason games, if we took away more exhibition games, all that you would see happening is the same types of injuries would happen in the first few games of the season regardless, because the preseason has a lot of players who are experienced holding back. So what I mean by that is there is guys who are very tough, very hard playing players that don't go at their full 100% potential when they're playing in the preseason. So if they can get some action during those first few days of the preseason, they can kind of like let up a little bit, like not let up, but they're not going to try to like crush each other. They're not trying to smash each other into the boards as hard as they can, like as though they would in a really important regular season game or a playoff game for that matter. And so what that does is it gives a chance for them to kind of get just kind of used to playing hockey again. And maybe if something bad were to happen, like just a bad like injury, like it's like somebody getting hurt, it's just fluke. It's just chance. So anyways, I just think that anyone who's complaining that preseason's too long, I disagree with them. I think they should just keep it the way it is. Just play the games. I'm not a fan of, having to wait for the games to actually count. Nobody likes that. It's the anticipation building up. When you've been watching preseason games for like a week on end, nobody likes that. But I understand the necessary part of why they need them. So that's why they have the preseason in the first place. But anyways, the other thing I wanted to talk about in today's episode of the podcast is that the Calgary Flames, that's my team. It's who I cheer for, and it's who I kind of follow the most. Calgary Flames have signed Tyson Barrie. So I made another video a few weeks ago, or not weeks, but a few days ago about Tyson Barrie and the merits of signing him, or why he should be signed or something like that. And it's official now. He's officially been signed. So he was on a professional tryout before, but now he's going to be joining the team for this season. And it'll be really interesting to see what happens with the Flames this year, because signing Tyson Barrie kind of shows a little bit of, how do I say this? Maybe more faith in the team as a competitor rather than just a team that's looking to tank, by getting a veteran guy who's really good on the power play like that, like Tyson Barrie. So maybe the management and coaching staff has more faith in this team than, might be perceived, which I think is a really positive sign. I know a lot of people, especially, pessimistic Flames fans, might not like the idea of signing a veteran player like that because they want the team to just lose more games so they can get a higher draft pick. But I've never been of the mind of that, guys. And I get it. I totally understand the people who are sick of being in the mucky middle, the murky middle, the center of the league where you might make the playoffs, you might not, but you never get good draft picks and you're just kind of stuck. I don't like to be middling either. Nobody likes a middling NHL team that just isn't good, but also isn't on a trajectory to suddenly get a bunch of star players. Nobody likes that. I get it. But you know what else people don't like? Huge streaks of non-playoffs. Massive streaks where you're just losing year after year after year after year. Look at what happened to the Buffalo Sabres. They haven't made the playoffs in 13 years. And what were they trying to do 13 years ago? They were trying to get bad so that they can miss the playoffs so they can sign better players. What were they trying to do 10 years ago? They were trying to get their team more bad so they can miss the playoffs so that they can get better draft picks so they can get better players. What have they been trying to do 5 years ago? They were trying to be bad so that they can get better draft picks so they can get better players. And in all of those times, there has been multiple different years where they did draft good players and they couldn't put it together around them because they didn't have a winner's attitude and a winner's mindset. Maybe now will be the time when we finally see Buffalo turn things around and get back into the playoffs this year. Perhaps, I don't know. But I don't want the Calgary Flames to go down that route and decide that they're just going to try to lose out or do anything like that. So getting a guy like Tyson Barrie, I think, can actually help with the development of the young defensemen that they have. And at the end of the day, guys, we could trade him anyways. We could trade him at the trade deadline if he's performing well. If Tyson Barrie can put up a ton of points from the back end on the power play or on secondary power play, whatever he's going to be playing, somebody at the trade deadline that is in a position to make the playoffs and wants a stronger defense will give Calgary a pick for Tyson Barrie. And we've got guys coming up the pipeline right now that can easily replace him that are 10 or even more years younger. For example, Hunter Brustevich. He's been sent back down to the AHL. But if the Flames need to call up a young defender, if we end up trading a guy like Tyson Barrie away, then he can get first dibs on his spot that's up there with the NHL club. Maybe he plays down the last month or two of the season if that happens. So that's what I'm kind of hoping can happen for the Flames here. You know, I don't think Tyson Barrie fits into the future of the Calgary Flames, like, you know, the next 5, 6, 7 seasons or anything like that. But some of these younger defensemen actually can and potentially will be part of the team moving forward. So that's why I like the signing. I think it's a good sign that the Flames haven't just given up and you know, thrown the towel in already before the season has already begun. You know, perhaps we're going to see a lot of a better outing than a lot of people give credit for. So super duper excited, guys, that the regular season is going to be beginning here. And yeah, there's a lot of really interesting, cool storylines to watch throughout the regular season this year. You know, a lot of people are going to be focused on, you know, the new players coming in, especially, well, I'm talking specifically for Calgary Flames, but all over around the league. You know, there was a lot of really cool new guys that are just joining the league, and very interesting storylines to follow when it comes to, you know, teams that are on the cusp of getting better, getting to the playoffs, you know, that maybe haven't been there before. I've talked about Buffalo already. You know, I think Buffalo looks like a type of team that is really hoping to end their drought. You know, they haven't made the playoffs for so many years in a row. Will this be the year that they end the drought? Another drought that's interesting to hear about is a guy named, what's his name? Jeff Skinner. This is a player who actually, I think, has the record for the most games played. He has played in over 1,000 games and has never, ever played a single playoff game. And he's playing now on the Edmonton Oilers. So he's played over 1,000 games, never made the playoffs, and now he plays for the Oilers. Let's see how that happens, or let's see how that shakes out. What else? How about Ovechkin has a chance to break the record to become the greatest goal scorer, the highest goals scored of any player all time, more than Gretzky, more than, you know, Rocket Richard, more than everyone ever, more than Yager, more than anyone. The most goals ever. Alex Ovechkin could break that record this year if he scores 40, I think it's 41 or 42 more goals. So that's a super interesting chase to watch. How about the chase for Sidney Crosby to make it back into the playoffs? You know, Crosby decided to re-sign with his longtime team, his only team he's ever played for, Pittsburgh Penguins, and is going to be coming back again for another chance at making the playoffs after Pittsburgh has struggled the last couple of years. So that's an interesting story to watch. What else? What else do we got? I think that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I wanted to go over today. I hope you enjoyed the podcast show. If you're watching or listening, if you do, like, subscribe, comment. It helps out the algorithm. And have a good day, guys. Bye now.